think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to
Bert can't get tech support from Rumble.
wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame.
I told you a day before he did that Tucker Carlson was going to get fired. I'm the one that said something was up with the beams of light coming out of the sky in Hawaii. I'm the ones that told you. I told you before he did that they're stealing that land because those people don't want to sell it. It's their homes.
Project Blue, but he doesn't believe in QAnon, but he believes in Project Bluebeam. Laser beams coming from the sky.
Faster or better. I'm trying to say I'm a karate student and he's my
Listen to
sensei.
this.
And I
This
just
retard.
threw the best roundhouse I ever.
He's saying he brought you this information before Alex Jones ever could have brought you this information. Not that he's better, but, you know.
That he taught me to do. Let's get back to it.
high the fire risk is.
You can't rebuild the
He's going to a new platform, then he might post it to Rumble later, but Rumble will not give him the technical support that he deserves.
same. So we have to rebuild with science. We have to build with climate reality in mind.
They're cancer. Cancer just takes over, thinks it's the boss, doesn't
While he steals Alex Jones's show.
stop till it kills the host. Give cancer out of consciousness, as I've said many times. It would think it was winning. No, it's not winning. It's cancer. It's a malfunction.
Let's see what other
Once it
shit he
starts
had to
moving,
say.
it
Hold on.
starts-
Let's see what Bert had to say today, chat. I'm sure he watches the news, so we don't have to. Here we go. No audio, no audio, no audio. No audio. Can't find his headphones. Turn on the lights. Where they at? Where's the mic? No audio. No audio. What did you have to say, Bert? You think Rumble's the problem, bro? No audio, fixing her hair. Hey, big update, though. Bert Lynch has 3 black friends. For all you guys that are calling him racist, Bert Lynch has 3 black friends. It's the only friends he has at his apartment. No audio. No audio.
Sound.
Ah.
Okay. I bet we can hear it now. Let's see. Can you hear me now? I know I set the sound. So go ahead now and let me know if you can hear. If you can hear me. There should be some sound. Cran 45
Took him 4.5 minutes to get audio going.
Grant, does that mean you can hear me?
Someone sent a thumbs up. Does that mean you can hear me? What the fuck do you think it means? You've only got 2 commenters. You got to take what you can get, okay?
We've got a 30-second delay. Yes, thank you, dear. Appreciate that. Got about a 30-second delay here at Rumble. Told you guys before, I'm not impressed with Rumble. Thank you, Tawana. Yeah, I know I turned it on. I saw that it was on before I went live. That means you guys probably didn't hear
He did it. Rumble's turning his audio off.
the follow me thing either. But hey, we're here now. So let's just be thankful that we got it.
Fucking Rumble, dude.
So
They
today I
hate
have planned on going
Birch. Have you noticed a pattern here that Rumble hates Bert, Facebook hates Bert, YouTube hates Bert? They just keep shutting him down.
But some different things have been going on that I thought we should go ahead and
Everybody that's ever tried to help Bert hates Bert. Everybody that's ever donated to Bert hates Bert. All the commenters hate Bert. All the haters hate Bert.
bring to light. I hope there's some truth to this rumor. The rumor is that Elon Musk has bought $40 million worth of advertising with his own money to advertise what Doge is going to be doing. I don't know if there's any truth to that. If you're seeing that rumor, I couldn't get to the bottom of it when I saw it today. I've tried. And so we will have to just watch the game tomorrow and see if Elon Musk is in a Super Bowl ad.
I thought the Super Bowl was evil.
Or if someone referring to the whole thing is happening or not. I really am rooting for the Eagles. I just don't want to see Kansas City win it. Kansas City beat the Eagles 3 years ago to win their first. Then they won last year. And now they're going to try and beat the Eagles a second time. And I just hope that the Eagles can have the game of their season and send
Always someone else's fault. That's right.
Mahomes back to Kansas City wishing that they had never seen an Eagle uniform. You know who Kansas City never beat? Mahomes never beat? The guy calling the game. The guy calling the game today, tomorrow. Tom Brady met them in the Super Bowl twice and beat them twice. So, Jesus Christ loves us is in the room. Thank you for being here. Yeah, there was a glitch. Just as I was going live, there was a glitch. A pop-up came up. I clicked out of the pop-up. It wasn't anything I asked to see. And that pop-up turned off my microphone.
What? A pop-up. A pop-up turned off your microphone. Yeah, I think they've met twice postseason, and they lost both those playoffs, but not in the Super Bowl. But Mahomes is better for regular season.
But in the past, I would have logged out and started all over. But I have learned through trial and error to try to push through it. And
the pop-ups that say your computer's not protected from viruses will actually turn off your microphone.
We figured it out. Just one guy. I say that all the time, but I am just one guy. And I told you guys last night that Nana is out of hospital, and I'm going to go watch the Super Bowl with her tomorrow. I went over and visited with her today for a little while. She's got her strength back. She's looking great. She's all bruised up on her arms from in her hand from all the IVs and all that stuff. But she's happy to be out of the hospital.
Guys, if we have a pop-up during the show, just know I'll be out for 5.5 minutes.
And we're all happy that she.
I know they're greasing the goddamn light poles in Philly, dude. It's wild. The police have to come out and grease the light poles. Win, lose, or draw, somebody's climbing a fucking light pole tonight.
We only got about 35 people in the room right now, so I don't really want to get started yet. I want to give them a little bit more time to come in. I want you guys to do me a favor and check out this logo.
Oh, gotta give them more time to come in, guys. Gotta give them more time.
That means Bert. Those of you that have been watching the show a long time, you know that means Bert's got the sniffles. Yeah, I do. We dropped to 63 degrees today, and I had to.
Oh my God.
I left the house without a jacket because yesterday was 80. But that's how it works in Vegas in February. We're going to get one more cold snap.
Hot Asian moms in your area. I love it when those pop up on my shit or like emails or messages or whatever. I live in the tiniest town in the fucking world, dude. And it'll say like hot Latina mamas, single and looking 4 miles away. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Yeah, they are.
This might be the beginning of it right here. We'll get one more cold snap that'll run for about 3 or 4 days. I've been here 28 years. It's happened 28 times.
I would probably recognize anybody if they were real and on that site looking for a hookup.
And I moved here the first week of March. It'll be 28 years ago this March. Right after Valentine's Day, I was in Sarasota. I was in Orlando, living in Orlando, Florida, 8 years ago. I was going through a divorce. I had moved from Savannah to Orlando. I was offered a job at Universal Studios singing. And so I went down there and I was doing that. I was there about a year going through my divorce. The divorce was just a disaster nightmare. I got just completely raked over the coals unfairly. Made the decision to move to Vegas on my attorney's advice. My wife was hassling me and causing me all kinds of trouble. When I was living in Savannah, she would show up in a car behind me, and then she would harass me, and then she would pull in front of me and stop the car, call the police, and say I was harassing her. And witnesses and stuff with me.
I bet.
And she was following us, taking pictures. But cops didn't believe me. They believed her, and they charged me with all kinds of stuff that cost me a fortune to defend myself, and I got out of all of it. And she kept doing that. And so my divorce wasn't final, and
Single sock looking for
I
love.
was forced to sell my bar because
Single sock looking to make a pair. There it
she
is.
was getting my electricity turned off. She was calling vendors, making them, they would stop delivering to me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to sell it. I sold the bar. And I called my agent that I hadn't spoken to for 4 or 5 years. And I said, you got anything for me as a single? I don't have a band.
Dude, you know, in Tennessee, we can't access Pornhub anymore. We can, but you have to register for an account and prove. You have to send them your fucking driver's license, I guess, and prove that you're 18 or older.
I'm doing single. He goes, actually, I do. I got a really good gig for you in Universal Studios if you want it, and I need you right away. I said, I'll be there. So I told my lawyer, I said, sign the paperwork, tell her, give me the standard approval. Like for a year, I've been trying to get custody of my son. I wanted full custody because she was trash. But her family was wealthy and they were destroying my life. So I went to Orlando and said, I'll be back in 2 weeks. Pick my son up for visitation and I'll visit with him for the weekend. I'll bring him back to you because it's a 3.5 hour drive. And she showed up down there harassing me. And he said, listen, she'll pull up alongside you and call the police and say.
So she traveled from Savannah to Orlando to harass you, and your lawyer was like, hey, you got to move to Vegas.
You did something when you didn't, and there's not much we can do. They always believe the woman. And he said, if I were you, I'd just move as far away.
Dude, I don't know who the people are that make fucking porn accounts. Like, people's porn accounts get leaked all the time. And I'm like, why the fuck are you making an account? Dude, I'm on the website for like 5 minutes tops. Finish my business. I don't leave comments. Who the fuck leaves comments?
24 months.
Thank you very much for the subscription. Who's leaving comments like, I thought her camera work was dead on. Really like when I could see the butthole and the clit at the same time. Takes a special actress. What the fuck are you doing? It's dirty and shameful, and you should do it as fast as possible and then retreat immediately.
From her as I could possibly get. And I said, do you think Las Vegas is far enough? He said, maybe. So that's what I did. I packed up 3 years ago and I was on my way to Florida. I was on my way out of Orlando.
How many people think that Bert was harassing his wife? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Bert was harassing his wife. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Bert's wife was harassing him. And who ended up with custody of that child?
I called and my dad had a heart attack. And I turned around and went down to Port Charlotte where my dad was and spent.
I do like the funny comments. Those people are fine. They're doing it for comedic relief.
A week there with him until we made sure he was okay. And then I left and
I like when the comment has nothing to do with the video and they're like, hey, have you guys played this game on Xbox? I can't get past this final boss on level 3. What gotta get some tips, and then people are actually responding.
I was supposed to get here the 3rd week of February. Not that I had anything planned because I didn't. But I ended up getting here the 2nd week of March. And never looked back. I got here with $200 in my pocket and had no idea what I was gonna do. I had a van.
Well, he did lose the $200, so now he's in Vegas with $0 in his pocket.
Girlfriend. We checked into a Motel 6. I walked across the street. This was 28 years ago. You can't do that now in Vegas, but this is a pretty cool story. I walked across the street and I asked him, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. The second day I was in town, I asked this bartender, I said, I see you guys got some entertainment. And I said, what's it take to get a chance to audition or something? She goes,
oh, chat, I have homework for you. We all know Trump supporters, right? We all know Trump supporters. Without starting a fight and without arguing, I want you to talk to a Trump supporter over the next couple days, okay? And I want you to ask them, I know, just say it like this. I know you support Trump. That's fine. Is there anything that Trump could do that would make you not support him? And ask him what it is, right? Specifically, like, oh, well, if he made abortion federally illegal, or if he cut off my mom's Social Security, or if he came out and lied to us all and we found out, or if he come out that he was a pedophile or whatever. See if they can give you an answer to, a genuine answer to, what could Trump do that you would no longer support? You'd be like, no, I'm done. I am done. I'd just like to know that answer.
She was like, "You any good?" And I had real long hair at the time, like I looked like a rocker because I was. And she said, "Listen, this guy that we got, he's terrible." And last time I told this story, that bartender was listening to the show. She actually called me that next day. This was about a couple years ago.
Oh.
And she called her boss and she goes, "I got."
The last time he told this story about a bartender he met 28 years ago, she happened to be watching the show, one of the 4 people that watch his show. And then they called him the next day and said, "I can't believe you told that amazing story about us."
This really great musician down here. And he wants to play. He goes, "Put him on the phone." He goes, "Listen, it's tips only." He goes, "But my customers tip really good." And he goes, "If you're any good, you can start tomorrow." And I've only been in Vegas 24 hours.
Right. That's the biggest thing. You can't. One thing that Trump has done fucking amazingly, I like to call it weaponizing the gullible. But what it is no matter what, he's got people that will defend him, like with their dying breath, that it didn't happen. So Trump says something stupid like, "You can inject light into your veins." And people are like, "Look at this experimental treatment that's going on only in Finland, that blah, blah, blah." That's what he was talking about, right? Or Trump outright lies to you or flip-flops on his positions or what. Like, if he doesn't say it, and even sometimes when he does say it, if he comes back and says, "I didn't say that," then they just believe it. It's like whatever his current most up-to-date opinion is. Like if they're like, "I like Trump because he put abortion back to the states," and then Trump comes out and says, "Okay, we're going to make abortion a federal issue," they'd be like, "I like Trump because he made abortion a federal issue." It's so weird. Like it doesn't matter what he said an hour ago. They love that. And then he does a 180 and then they love that. It's so weird. And you can't trust news. You can't trust media. You can't trust scientists. You can't trust other political opponents. You can't trust data. You can't trust any fucking thing but Trump. And what you can only trust him right now because he's going to change that position and then you'll have to trust that new position. So weird.
And I said, "Well, listen, my girlfriend's a bartender." I said, she was standing right next to me. She's a real pretty girl with red hair. And I said, "She's a bartender. Do you need a bartender?" And he says, "Does she have all her cards?" And I said, "Does she have all her cards?" And the bartender looked at me and she mouthed the words, "Say yes, say yes." And I went, "Yeah, she does." He goes, "She can start tomorrow when you do." I'm like, "Okay." I got off the phone and I said, "What are cards?" She said, "Because I owned the bar. This girl had come from working in my bar and I sold my bar and then we moved here." And she says, "Well, you have to have a total alcohol management card. That's going to cost you about $100. You got to have a sheriff's card, which means you go down and make sure you're not a felon. And the sheriff will sign off on it, get a sheriff's card. And then you got to have it was a card for shot, a TB shot, tuberculosis shot. It's called the health card. So you have to get a tuberculosis shot and get your health card. And all of that cost about $100.
There were people literally that in 2016, I remember them talking about Trump's stance on H-1 visas. And they loved that he was going to shut it down because we got talented people here that need to go to work. And then when Elon Musk changes his stance or comes out about his stance on H-1, Trump says the exact opposite. And the same people are praising him for it. The same people, like fucking Charlie Kirk. They praised him when he wanted to shut down H-1 visas because we have talented people here in America. Then they praise him when he wants to bring Indians in for specialized roles like being a receptionist at his hotel. The same people can't praise both points.
$75. And $175 is all I had. I had just enough money to pay, like I told you, checked into the hotel room. And so she said, "Look, I'm going to charge you for your drinks tonight." She goes,
"No way. King Carson and Travis are back."
"You go tomorrow and start early in the morning. Make sure you got all her cards." That's what we did. We ran around all day long. I didn't get a chance to rehearse.
There is a video going viral. Hold on. I'll see if I can find it. And people believe it. What was that guy's name? There is a video that's going kind of viral. Other people are sharing it and doing things, commenting on it. That basically this guy that comes out and gives, I don't know if the guy's whole thing is satire or whatever, but he does these things, daily Doge updates, right? And another big creator with hundreds of thousands of people that follow him is like, here's some stuff that Doge found this week in the news or that we're spending tax dollars on, right? And he's like, the Federal Balloon Animal Training Academy, that they're spending $3 million a year on that. Like the dumbest shit that clearly isn't true. There is no Balloon Animal Training Academy. Like, obviously, that's insane to think that these things are real, right? But people are like, did you hear about they're not training clowns to make balloon animals anymore? Yep, because they weren't ever. Thanks for shutting that down. Or like the condoms in Gaza thing, right? And then they're like, they're probably making condom bombs. But the money didn't go to Gaza, and it wasn't for condoms. So how is that relative to anything we're talking? Just the wildest shit, dude, and they are in it. They are fucking on top of it. Let's see. Daily Doge update. Here's the guy. I want to see Doge update guy. Where is the how old are these videos?
Update for you, and this is going to be talking about the USAID again, like from hello, my fellow Overtax citizen. Here is your daily update. All right, folks, today's Doge news is absolutely crazy. We've got some drama, and this story comes straight to us from the Gateway Pundit. And according to the latest report, the Trump administration just put 2 USAID security leaders on leave after they tried to block. Hello, fellow overtaxed citizens. Here's today's daily update. All right, this video is for everyone who thinks that the 2024 Festivus report and congressional pig book are satire, and that's where I've been getting a lot of content for my daily. Hello, fellow overtaxed citizens. Here's today's daily update. All right, this video is for everyone who thinks that the 2024 Festivus report and congressional pig book are satire, and that's where I've been getting a lot of content for my daily.
Oh, sorry.
Doge updates. I get it. It sounds absolutely too ridiculous to be true, but these things absolutely are. Now, Senator Rand Paul's report for 2024 exposes over $1 trillion in government waste. I'm going to break down just 3 of them real quick. Number 1, a man in Florida spent $8 million in COVID relief funds to buy his own private island. Man. Number 2, $330,000 was spent by the Department of State to censor non-liberal and conservative media. And number 3, $385,000 was spent to erect a 16-foot tall pigeon sculpture in New York City. Because why not immortalize a bird that shits all over everything? Hello, fellow citizens.
I want to see the one specifically about the balloon animals. Hold on.
Taxpayers and citizens, it is time for your daily Doge update. And today we're going to dive into something that's going to make your head spin a little bit, and it's called unauthorized government spending. Now, hello, fellow citizens and taxpayers. Thanks for stopping to watch today's daily Doge update. Now, by now, you've probably heard DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, which was put into place by President Donald Trump.
I bet you.
By the genius Elon Musk.
Let me see the views. Hold on. Sort by most popular. He says not satire on all his videos, but he's 100% lying. The shit he's making up is just fucking crazy.
Well,
we're getting them from somewhere.
I'm back with the next 10 items that the DOGE, and that's the Department of Government Efficiency, is getting ready to cut. And it's going to give us more savings. And we're going to have to scratch our heads a little bit over these next 10 because these are absolutely ridiculous. All right, so number 1, the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Study. We were wasting $1.4 million annually to study whether popping bubble wrap would actually reduce stress. It turns out that it does, but we don't need to spend any money on that. You can do that yourself. All right, program number 2, the Bureau of Mailbox Feng Shui. I don't even know what the hell that is, but it was costing us $900,000 a year. All right, program number 3, that is going to be the Federal Balloon Animal Training Academy, costing us $2.3 million annually. And
Find it. Find the Balloon Animal Training Academy. I'm almost positive he says where he's getting these from. We'll go back and look in a second. He's got to be reading these from a satire site, and he just doesn't know. I mean, I see them linked on it's on Twitter, it's on Threads, a Facebook post. Another Facebook post, the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Study. Another Facebook post. They don't exist anywhere else. Like, they can't have these fucking programs without any fucking paperwork or anything to back it up. You're just making shit up, dude. He's got to be getting them from satire sites.
And taxpayers have been funding how to teach clowns to fold balloons into animals for kids' birthday.
He's literally saying that the federal government is funding a clown college.
Parties. All right, now program number 4 is the National Pretzel Untwisting Initiative at $600,000 per year.
The Pretzel Untwisting Initiative. And literally it says not satire, huge up here. And people are sharing this as if Doge is doing something other than just fucking around with government payments.
Dedicated to untwisting pretzels for research purposes. Doge is doing away with that. You're welcome. We don't need that anymore. Program number 5, the Department of Sock Pairing. We're wasting $1.8 million annually to find those missing socks. Sorry, everybody, you're on your own. You're going to have to find your own socks without any government guidance. Number 6, the Federal High Five Coordination Bureau, $1.2 million a year ensuring that we're high-fiving correctly. That's got to go. That's going to save us some cash. Let's see. Number 7, the National Ice Cream Cone Structural Integrity Lab. We have been spending $700,000 a year to find out why ice cream cones leak, and that's just a huge waste of money. Program number 8, the Office of Puddle Depth Measurement. That was costing us $3 million a year to see how much rainwater was being wasted and collected in things like potholes and other.
Here's the comments. Anyone else wonder if these departments are actually real or if they just names that politicians made up and stashed their embezzlement into? I thought this was an SNL skit. The laundering is still laundering. Every single person who created these programs should have to pay for it all. This can't be for real. If it is, they need to send all of us a $10,000 refund. Something screams money laundering. This is money laundering. This is 1,000% going into the pockets of politicians. If this isn't satire, then Doge is so incredibly overdue. Money laundering. Grand total of $46 million cut in 3 days. This is insane. We need Doge forever. What in the hell? The corruption of our government. I'm flabbergasted. Rand Paul needs to be involved in Doge. Whose pockets is this money going into? You have got to be kidding. At this rate, we will be able to clear the national debt. I hope this is satire. Bet it's not. Are these real? Well, I'm hearing that if they don't need my taxes this year. You guys can't be this fucking dumb. But they are. They are. Trust me, they are. Where was the one I was just on where he said, I'm getting some backlash. People think this is satire.
Hello, fellow overtaxed citizens. Here's today's daily update. All right, this video is for everyone who thinks that the 2024 Festivus report and congressional
2024. Festivus report. I got it. This was published by, it says, I have a lot of problems with federal spending, and now it's time to hear all about them. Who is this from? Is this from Rand Paul? Ghost towns on the government dime. The federal government spent $10 billion in maintaining, leasing, and furnishing almost entirely empty buildings. Well, that's because COVID's going on, right? Do you guys know that their biggest complaint is this spending that isn't needed? And Pete Hegseth is trying to live in government housing, a government home that traditionally isn't lived in by the SecDef, and he called for a $50,000 emergency paint job for the interior of his home before he can move in there. A $50,000 emergency interior paint job before he can move in there. Not to mention, no one knows if he's paying rent, if it's on the house, what is going on, because the SecDef usually doesn't live in government housing. So how the fuck does he need a $50,000 emergency paint job before he can move into his home? The one about the house, the private island, seems to be true. It's a guy named Patrick Parker Walsh. Is serving 5.5 years in federal prison. Of course, this is the way the government's supposed to work, right? He stole COVID funds, so they're coming after them. Stole nearly $8 million in COVID relief funds. His crime was not unique. He's one of 1,000 thieves who perpetrated the greatest grift in the U.S. history. They potentially plundered more than $280 billion in federal COVID aid, another $123 billion. But this is what happens when you offer that, right? There's going to be people that fucking take advantage of it. The loss represents close to 10% of the $4.3 trillion the U.S. government has dispersed to mitigate the economic disaster. There's people that bought luxury watches, diamond jewelry. Let's read more about this guy. Patrick Parker Walsh, 42, Williston, Florida, was sentenced today after previously pleading guilty to 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of money laundering in connection to COVID-19 pandemic relief. Walsh was sentenced to 66 months of federal prison. The sentence was announced by Jason R. Cody, United States Attorney of the Northern District of Florida. The theft of any amount of taxpayers' fund is inexcusable. However, the defendant's deceptive acts of diverting millions of dollars in an emergency financial assistance from small businesses during the pandemic. So I'm pretty sure when I heard about this, I haven't read the rest of it yet. I'm pretty sure what I heard about this is he was supposedly helping all these businesses. He was the insider. It's like, I know how to get you COVID funds. Come to me. Let me have your business information. I'll get COVID funds for you, because there was a bunch of money unlocked. And instead of giving the funds to them, he was stealing all or most of it and giving them like pennies on the dollar while he used their businesses. It wasn't like it was illegitimate and the Congress is like, oh, this one guy wants $8 million. Sure, give it to him. He was filing for all these other businesses, I think is what I heard about it. Court documents reflect that between April 7th, 2020 and January 21st, 2021, Walsh submitted a total of 16 fraudulent applications to multiple federally insured financial institutions and other qualified lenders for Paycheck Protection Program loans in the names of multiple businesses, including his blimp companies, which were headquartered in Levy County. Walsh false PPP loan applications included several discrepancies, no record of some employees that were listed in Walsh's applications, that the number of employees listed in multiple applications was more than previously listed in employer tax records, and that some of the companies claimed in the applications were not even established businesses as of February 15, 2020, the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic relief program. Additional investigation revealed that Walsh had used several of the same employees on PPP loan applications for different companies. Today, the defendant in the case, so he made up companies and applied for it. Today, the defendant in this case is brought to justice by exploiting federal relief programs and using the obtained funds for his personal gain. We will continue to work with law enforcement. But this was working before Doge ever existed. So Doge didn't shut this down.
Big book or satire, and that's where I've been getting a lot of content for my daily Doge updates. I get it. It sounds absolutely too ridiculous to be true, but these things absolutely are. Now, Senator Rand Paul's report for 2024 exposes over $1 trillion in government waste. I'm going to break down just 3 of them real quick. Number 1, a man in Florida spent $8 million in COVID relief funds to buy his own private island. Man. Number 2, $330,000 was spent by the Department of State to censor non-liberal and conservative media. And number 3, $385,000 was spent to erect a 16-foot tall pigeon sculpture in New York City. Because why not immortalize a bird that shits all over everything? Now, these items are real, they're documented, and this is how your tax dollars are being wasted every day. So if you think I'm making it up, go read the reports for yourself. I've linked the Festivus report and the Congressional Pig Book in my bio. Just click the link and it'll take you to the...
But this has nothing to do with Doge.
links to get you to the pages. Go see for yourself. It's time for our hard-earned money to stop.
Literally nothing to do with Doge. This guy was sentenced in 2023. This guy was sentenced to 5.5 years in jail and forced to repay the vast majority of it, plus I'm sure damages and interest. But this has nothing to do with Doge. This shit's stupid. Anyways, they'll believe anything. As long as it's a good spin for them and Trump, they'll believe anything. And bad things about other people, as long as Trump or someone that he's previously given a green light to and hasn't retracted that, because, you know, he makes friends with some people and they love them until they don't, right? Like Barr, right? Or General Mattis, right? Those are good people. Until Trump no longer says they're good people. Then we hate them. We never liked them. We thought they were scummy. They're part of the deep state. They probably eat babies. They will believe fucking anything. Which is why the grift is so prevalent on that side. If you tell them what they want to hear, you never go against what they want to hear, they will fucking just open their wallets and send you money.
I do nothing. We got her cards, and
I used to feel bad for them. I don't even think I do anymore. I want to take their money now. Fuck it.
we showed up there. She went to work bartending, and I went to work singing, and we made between us $400 that night. And we didn't look back. We went to work every night. I sang there for tips only. She bartended. Now I went from being the bar owner, her being one of my employees. Once my divorce, because my divorce ran for 2 years. After I was a year and a half into my divorce, I started dating her, kind of under the table, but yeah, I was dating her. And
I bet you are.
I was at the bar.
What was his name?
And so it just made sense. And
What was his name, Bart? Mitch.
I didn't have time to go looking for other romances, so I know it's not a good idea to date your employees, but we really didn't start dating till I was selling the bar. That's the truth. And so we worked our butts off for 3.5 months and maybe 4 months, and I took all the money we made and I
She was the bouncer at his last bar.
went and cut a demo. 6 of the songs that are on that demo are on my CD right now that you guys have been buying.
Oh my
I
God.
made a CD and some cassette tapes and started passing them around in Las Vegas. The first casino that called me asked me to come down and asked me if I would audition. I said yes. So I went in and auditioned, and they handed
Dude, I've had serious talks with people of like, have I gone too far that now I can just flip and be a full-blown fucking Trump cocksucker and people just watch and send money and donate and shit? Because I'm losing my mind over here going broke. And these motherfuckers are just raking in cash because everything Trump does is good.
me a 2-year contract to be the headliner at that casino. And I had only been in town 5 months. So I went from a guy with nothing but $200 in his pocket to 5 months later being a headliner in Las Vegas. That's a success story. I was also 36 years old, not 66 years old.
What's crazy is like, they don't even see it, dude. I don't know if you guys have seen, I haven't spread it because I think it's shitty even though they're doing it to her. If anybody deserves it, it's her. Have you guys seen the photo of Candace Owens that surfaced of her as a kid with short hair? And now a bunch of her former fans are turning on her saying that she's trans and she's been hiding it from us and that like they're legit. It's still shitty to do to somebody, right? But if anybody deserves it, it's Candace fucking Owens. There are so many people coming out. I wonder if I can find the photo. She definitely looks like a boy. I don't even know if it's a photo. It might not even be a photo of her. I don't know. I just think it's crazy that the people that watched her do this to other people are now doing it. And then she's just trying to be like, no, it's not me. She doesn't even realize that that's what she's been doing.
So things were a little easier to deal with back in the days. In 2 years' time, I bought another bar.
Statues that serve no purpose whatsoever.
That was in 98. Let me see. Let's make sure it wasn't 2 years. It was 4 years. 98, I bought my bar in 2002. Saved my money. Was real smart with it. And back then, entertainers made a lot of money and we had a lot of work. There was work everywhere. You could walk in anywhere and say, hey, you need some music tonight? Yeah, man, set up over there. It's not like that anymore. DJs and poker rooms is all you can find anymore where all bands used to play. The stage has been torn down and they make poker rooms out of them. It's crazy.
Good.
So we got about 50 people now. Let me see if I can read the folks in Fran, Tawana. Jesus loves us. Not that many people in the chat room. And I know why. I'm going to play something for you. And I'm going to dedicate this. When I first started doing this, we had
Here it is.
It's crazy how Candace Owens' fan base is now attacking her.
See her up there in the corner. I'm going to try to get the full one.
People. It's crazy how Candace Owens' fan base is now attacking her.
This is apparently a picture of Candace Owens as a child.
The way she has attacked other people. Calling her trans. The same way she tried to attack Michelle Obama. Chef's kiss. And now the lepers are on the way and we can only sit back and enjoy the show. But it does
the horrible shit she said about Michelle Obama.
Make sense, the need for acceptance. It does make sense. Now, it makes sense. The need to constantly have to pander to a group of people makes a whole lot of sense. I can honestly see what happened. I can see what happened. But that's what happens when you make your entire career about loving a group of people who make it extremely clear that they dislike you or anybody that looks like you. But I'm sure she will find a way to try to spin it around and tap dance for the masses. Because the same energy you're getting is the same energy you've been putting out there.
There you go. The Pentagon just announced that it would double the number of news organizations removed from physical office to make room for MAGA propaganda outlets. They're getting rid of the New York Times, Politico, NPR, the Washington Post, CNN, NBC, The Hill, and The War Zone. And they're bringing in Breitbart, the New York Post, the Washington Examiner, OAN, Newsmax, HuffPost, the Free Press, and the Daily Caller.
signed a contract with a Christian company. And I am a Christian, okay? I'm a Christian. I love Jesus.
Oh, God.
I love God. I pray every night, every morning. I pray on a regular basis. I don't do it on the air. I don't feel like it's...
Oh, yeah, the stuff she's doing about the president's wife, the French president's wife. I just saw that where she's like, she's not in this photo, but who's this little boy over here? I just saw a clip of it.
My place to pray publicly for an audience. I don't believe that I believe that I need to be more pure than I am, which I try my best. But I'm not trying to influence people's religion or anything, because that's for people with that calling. My calling is to entertain people, and I try not to mix the two. But I do have a Christian heart, and but because I had signed this contract to do a Christian network, one of the things in the contract was no swearing, and no content that was considered to be vulgar, and I totally agreed with that. I understood that, and so in my original first audience for the show, everybody knew that we were getting ready to move. We weren't in the Christian network yet, but they knew we were going that direction, and I was keeping it very clean. You know, every once in a while now you guys will hear me let a cuss word slip out. I try not to be vulgar, but I have used the F word from time to time. And so I grew a small audience. I'm not maybe not even a small audience, but an audience of heavily so-called Christian ladies and Christian folks. I call them the Christian ladies. And I'm going to tell you something. There's nobody more critical and no one quicker to judge you and chastise you and berate you than it is the ones who think that they're holier than thou. And I don't want that.
The Christians hate Bert.
If that's you, you're welcome to.
It's because all that gyrating he does up on stage.
Cater to you, because I learned the hard way that they are the worst. Okay, because I've got two of them that claim to be church ladies that turned on me and created websites about me and all this, all because I played a cat video with.
Created a website about you.
The guy was using the F word. And if that's who the church people are.
Oh, I forgot. Bert thinks that Facebook pages are websites.
Enjoy your time in church. Okay, if you go to church on Sunday, I got news for you. The Sabbath is Saturday, but hey, we'll get into that later. But I'm not going to play to that audience anymore because they're cruel. And somebody posted something about that on Facebook. In Messenger, it was sent to me. And so I'm dedicating this to the former church ladies, and you know who you are, girls. Because they're over in the Clown Boys chat room all the time, listening to him drop the F-bomb with every other sentence and waiting to hear some news about Bert. So this goes to them, the church ladies.
Phone on silent, and it rang so loud in the church during preaching. The pastor scolded him. The worshipers admonished him after the sermon for interrupting. His wife kept on lecturing on his carelessness all the way home. His friends and acquaintances shook their heads in disgust. You could see the shame, embarrassment, and humiliation on his face. He never stepped foot in the church again after the service that Sunday.
Does he not know that these are AI? He's going to play a different one in a minute with a Joe Rogan clip that's not even the real clip.
That evening he went to a bar. He was still nervous and trembling. He spilled his drink on the table. The bottle fell by accident and it splashed on some people. Those it touched rushed towards him. He closed his eyes expecting a bashing of words or slaps.
It's obviously a robot voice. Everybody can hear that, right? Even though I got it sped up.
Instead, they cared to know if he did get a cut from the broken bottle. The waiter apologized and gave him a napkin to clean himself. The janitor mopped the floor. The female manager offered him a complimentary drink. She also gave him...
Yeah, Huffington Post is not bad. They got a bunch of clout for being the other, or a bunch of hate for being the other way, but I think they've tried to normalize some of their shit.
A huge hug and a peck while saying, "Don't worry, man, who doesn't make mistakes?" He has not stopped going to that bar since then. Sometimes our attitude as believers drives souls to hell. We can make a difference by how we treat people, especially when they make mistakes.
The man's cell phone was on by accident at church, and he experienced exactly that's exactly what it feels like when you think you have a group of Christian people that are got your back until they turn on you for the slightest little mistake. And there couldn't be more truth to what that article right there just said, for me anyway. Because
someone in Bert's chat says Gavin Newsom reminds me of the Antichrist. They already bought their Bible from the Antichrist.
Some of the bars I go to make me feel a lot more welcome than the church ladies ever did. So I thought somebody might see that and appreciate that for what it is.
Maybe.
I could be wrong. I suppose I'll find out. Now, some of the things that I want to bring to you today are, and you have to forgive me, sometimes some of these things that I pull over that I want to bring to you, they just disappear before I get to them. And this one is...
He can't keep the tab straight. Some of these disappear before I can bring them and show them to you. Later on in the show, he's like, I don't know what it is about Facebook Reels, but they start playing before I can show them to you.
It's something that I'm just going to read for you. This was posted on Donald Trump's, real Donald Trump, on his site. CBS in 60 Minutes defrauded the public by doing something which has never, to this extent, been seen before.
Oh my God, this is the craziest thing ever. Have you guys seen? They released the full unedited tapes of the Kamala Harris interview. Like they cut out like small talk. They cut out her like blowing her nose because she has sniffles. They did the same thing with the Trump interview, right? You know, the Trump interview, he was there for like 2 hours, and it's a show called 60 Minutes.
They 100% removed Kamala Harris's horrible election-changing answers to questions and replaced them with completely different and far better answers, taken from another part of the interview. This was election-changing stuff, election interference, and quite simply, election fraud at a level never seen before. CBS should lose its license.
Does Trump think that everything is just live, off the cuff, and nothing's ever edited? Because he's done interviews before. His interviews are edited.
And the cheaters at 60 Minutes should all be thrown out. And this reputable news show should be immediately terminated. Talking about 60 Minutes here. With the new Democrat scandal, this just arose with respect to the USAID illegally paying large sums of money to Politico and other media outlets. The question must be asked: was CBS paid for committing this fraud? Many other questions to come. This will go down as the biggest broadcasting scandal in history. Donald Trump. You know, folks, those of you that have a memory of Watergate.
What is this?
At USAID, waste and abuse runs deep. For decades, the U.S. Agency for International Development has been unaccountable to taxpayers as it funnels massive sums of money to the ridiculous and in many cases malicious pet projects. Here are a few examples. Okay, why does our government have to source the Daily Mail? Can't they just point to their own documents?
Here are only a few examples of the waste and abuse. And they're sourcing the Daily Mail. Why can't you source the funding allocation or why would you source the Daily Mail on your official press release?
This is a .gov thing, at least. 2019, though, under Trump, the amendment of the North Sinai Bilateral Assistance Agreement supports the Egyptian government's efforts to spur inclusive economic development in the government. Through this agreement, USAID will build on previous investments in the North. Sinai includes provision of potable water to 300,000 residents and wastewater services to 100,000 residents. New activities under this amendment will provide access to transportation for rural communities and economic livelihood programming for families. What did they say this was on the website? To fund tourism?
To give people water and transportation. That's $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. By the way, happened under Trump. Trump's real good friends with Egypt.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a nonprofit linked to designated terrorist organizations. Oh, wait. Americans paid for hundreds of thousands of dollars went to al-Qaeda affiliated fighters in Syria. Federal prosecutors revealed in announcing charges against the non-governmental organization employee who they say was responsible for the diversion. So this doesn't sound like money that was approved for them. It sounds like money that was stolen.
They'll believe anything.
Of what happened at Watergate is exactly what happened again with Donald Trump. The DNC made up a fake dossier. They used the CIA and the FBI to push that fake dossier so that Hillary Clinton would have a better chance at winning the election. That's worse than anything that happened during Watergate. What happened in Watergate? A couple of people broke into the Democrat National Committee's offices to get garbage, to get trash on their opponent. Same story. Nixon had resigned to keep from being impeached over it. Here, the deep state covered it all up, all the way to then this went through the FBI and the CIA, the Comey, and all the others that came out and said, well, what Hillary Clinton did was bad, but I don't think any sane person would actually bring charges against her.
None of this is true, right? So the Steele dossier was pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed as truth, and tons of people that were in positions of power came out and said, hey, we can't run with this. This isn't verified. A newspaper ran with it. But
then what did they do when Trump got elected? They charged him with stepping on the sidewalk and breaking his mama's back. Every time he turned around, they tried to charge him with whatever they could. It's the most corrupt our country has ever seen. The corruption is unbelievable. And as a result, we have now a situation.
It was published without permission in 2017 as an unfinished 35-page compilation of unverified and potentially unverifiable memos that were considered by Steele to be raw intelligence. This is where Christopher Steele comes in. Not established facts, but a starting point for further investigation.
Where Donald Trump has to go in and he has to clean house. He knows what they did to him, and he knows what they are capable of doing to everyone. It cannot stand. It is now Donald Trump's goal and job and calling from high to get those people out of our country and out of our government forever, which means dismantling a lot of these organizations like CIA and the FBI and obviously USAID. I've been screaming for years, as long as I've been on this show, which is almost 3 years, I've been saying we've got to get rid of the Department of Education, and I've been saying that since they created it in 1977. All that happened with that was Jimmy Carter was
It was published by the Huffington Post. Their decision to publish the reports without verifying the allegations is criticized by most journalists and other agencies.
And well, it was actually 76, I guess. Well, when Carter got elected, he created it to pay back the teachers union that helped get him elected. That's the reason he created it, to create a way to protect the teachers and keep their money coming in and making it where they...
The intelligence community, the FBI, everybody else is like, I don't know. This doesn't seem like any of it's verified. We can't run with this. But I don't...
have to be responsible. The state can now decide how you're going to teach your kids. It's a disaster. And it's why we have the worst educational system in the world. In the world. We spend more money on teaching our kids and they learn less than any of the 40, what you would call first world countries. It's just unbelievable. And it's up to Donald Trump to fix it. And the left is losing their mind. They're losing their mind because it's their gravy train. It's where they make all their money. Listen, later on this week, next week, I'm going to show you a video of how Joe Biden laundered $6 million through USAID for his own companies. You wonder why he's got all those LLCs? I think it was 100 LLCs. That's why. And it goes on and on and on. The corruption that they found in the first 13 days. And the left is calling it a coup. How can it be a coup when the new president is doing exactly what he ran on? He said.
Because he's not allowed to do it. Right? What if he ran on fucking getting rid of the Supreme Court? And he was going to decide being from now on, he was going to be the person who decides whether laws are constitutional or not. Doesn't mean he can do it. Why is your argument? It can't be a coup if he said he was going to do it. That's not a valid argument.
I'm going to put Elon Musk in charge of auditing the books. And now
it doesn't matter. He could have said, I'm going to attack the moon with nuclear weapons. So it doesn't change what he's doing.
Left is screaming and hollering that it's a coup because just because you're president doesn't mean you get to be in charge. You know what Trump said today? If they shut down Elon Musk, I'll go do it myself. If the courts tell me he doesn't have the authority to go there, I'll by God go there. That's what he said.
By God.
See him like just thugging, walking in there with a long coat on.
Thugging? Did Bert just say thugging?
I'd go there. That's what he said. Can you see him like just thugging, walking in there with a long coat on, sunglasses?
What do you think he's in, the Matrix, Bert? Why is he wearing a trench coat and sunglasses?
A couple of guys from Brooklyn. He's going to say, I want all the Secret Service guys from New York, from Brooklyn. Those are the guys I want next to me. We're going to do a thing. You guys come in with me, okay? We got something we're going to do. That's what he's going to do. You better hope they let Elon Musk be the one that puts the microphone, puts this. See that right there? Elon Musk has one of those. You don't even want to see what Donald Trump's walking in with. Donald Trump's not going to bring a magnifying glass. He's going to come in there with a howitzer and shove it up your ass.
A little extra graphic, I think.
I'm so sick of the libtards. I'm telling you what, we can't just replace them. We got to run them all.
Okay.
They have their own country. Go to Canada. We don't want the 51st state. You guys go up there. Screw that mess up.
All the liberals have to leave the country now.
There's only one way to make America great again, and that's put it back like it used to be. And I'm not talking about the racist stuff. Get out of my face with that crap. I've only made friends here in this apartment complex with 3.
Here we go.
And all 3 of them have to be.
He's only made 3 friends at this apartment complex. Look at that. There you go, Bert. There's your new logo. Let me screenshot that. See if I can sell this to some people for $500. I'll sign it. Let me know in chat if you want one of these logos, hand signed. I'll print it off. I'll sign it and mail it to you. We'll give you a discount, $200. $200, hand signed, mailed to your door. I'll cover the postage. As long as it's not too expensive.
Get out of my face with that crap. I've only made friends here in this apartment complex with 3 people, and all 3 of them have to be black. Knocked on my door just before the show. Hey, bro, you doing all right? What you gonna do?
Is it better if you're like, I can't be racist, I have black friends, or better that I can't be racist, I've only 3 people will be my friend and they're all black?
Night. You know what they do? They all sit down in the courtyard and they all smoke. I don't smoke. They go down there and they sit in the courtyard to smoke, and they sit there and they tell stories, talk about this and that and the other thing. And they've invited me down. I've gone down there a couple times, but it's too much cigarette smoke for me. And I don't get on about it. But
too much cigarette smoke. Bert can't be part of it.
But they're knocking on the old white dude's door. Come on, man, hang out with us. So I ain't talking about the racist stuff. I'm talking about the common sense stuff. It's got to go. We have got to get rid of this stupid DEI, and they're screaming over it. They're losing their minds over it. So this is a clip.
I don't think people understand what all DEI. I don't think they understand what it is. They think that I didn't get this job because they hired some pansexual flute player to design rockets.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I have met, and who was awesome. And she got interviewed. I can't remember if I've played this for you guys before or not, but it's worth watching again. So let's watch it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and folks, church ladies.
Marjorie Taylor Greene being crazy. Here we go.
Grown up table, okay, everybody. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go.
He loves her. I've met her. He's met her.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, everything I said is correct. It's how the American people feel. It's what we know to be a fact. It's all the evidence has been proven true. We have Jamie Raskin in there accusing us of worshiping Trump, worshiping as a convicted felon.
Well, it kind of is worship at this point, right? If Trump came out tomorrow and said, I'm not saying this, you're saying it, but I'm going to say it. 2 + 2 is 5. They'd be like, well, what he was trying to say is if you break down 2, a 2 is just 2 ones, right? And 2 + 2, and what? Now we're left with 1 1. 1 1 is 5. They would literally they'll defend anything he fucking says. They'll make excuses. He needs a translator. What he really meant was he was stemming with fucking Elon Musk. They're both on ketamine, so he's probably seeing visions from other planets.
Well, yeah, so is George Floyd. And everybody, and you all too, the media worship George Floyd. Democrats worship George Floyd.
No one worshiped George Floyd. He shouldn't have been killed. No one should be killed that way.
There were riots burning down the fucking country over George Floyd and Raskins, and they're saying we worship him. Excuse me, let me correct you.
There were riots tearing down the U.S. Capitol over Donald Trump.
This is really important. I don't worship. I worship God. God. And Jesus is my savior. I don't worship President Trump. And I'm really sick and tired of the bullshit annex I have to deal with constantly from the Democrats. So that's what we just went through in there. And then they're sitting there. They can attack my character all day long. What's his face in there? Whoever was talking last was calling me insane. But yet we can't say, oh, they're attacking my character. Oh, no, it's nonstop BS and annex. You want to know why? The Democrats don't have anything. They're
bad built, butch body, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body.
Responsible for the lockdowns, forced vaccinations, kids being forced to stay home, people committing suicide, and all the horrors that this country lived through during COVID. Fauci belongs in prison. He should be tried for mass murder, and he should be tried for crimes against.
Fauci should be tried for mass murder. Fauci, the guy that Trump loved and put in charge of everything, right up until he went against Trump.
Community. That's how I feel after that hearing. That's how the American people feel. In the room.
There you go, Marjorie. Why don't you just go ahead and open up to us and let us know how you feel, honey? I love her. She's awesome. But it's
I don't know who that is, so probably not.
Everybody. We are headed for a whole new kind of world and a whole new kind of country. We just got to keep the president safe. Got to keep him safe. He's going to be at the Super Bowl tomorrow. And Dana's invited me to go with her to watch the Super Bowl, and I'm hoping that...
Dude, I'm just going to say it. If we get in a video game, like if I was playing Grand Theft Auto tomorrow, okay, and in Grand Theft Auto tomorrow, there was a double successful assassination attempt and a free Kendrick Lamar concert.
Everybody who's there to watch with is not, I just hope there's nothing, no, she's pretty much most of the people she hangs around with are on the conservative tent. So, but I want to see a good game, but I want to see Kansas City get beat. Now, the rumor on the street about Kansas City tomorrow is that the NFL has decided Kansas City has to lose in order to make the NFL look legitimate again.
He's been pitching this for a fucking week. The script is leaked.
Because everyone's accusing the NFL of fraudulent behavior, of too many.
Is it called Tennessee or Cheaper Eggs? Is that the name of the song? No, that was on November. Is it called Sawdust and Cocaine? He's got a bunch of songs.
Flags that always seem to help Kansas City. So watch to see if this happens. I'm not saying it is. I'm just telling you what I've heard. And I've heard this in multiple places. That Kansas City's going to jump out to a lead, and they're going to be in a pretty healthy lead in the third quarter, and everyone's going to start kind of celebrating and thinking that Kansas City has it under, and is going to wrap it up. And then suddenly...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. Well, we might get in trouble for paying it.
But there was no way I could let this one slip past me. She's a bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body, swinging for the fences, good God almighty. A heat-seeking missile, too scared to debate, cries like a baby when she don't get her way. Yeah, she can dish it out, but she sure can't take it. Her whole damn life, she just fakes it to make it. Nobody cares what she has to say. Some new eyelashes wouldn't help her anyway, 'cause she's a bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body, swinging for the fences, good God.
It's kind of funny.
A heat-seeking missile, too scared to debate, cries like a baby when she can't get her way. something tough. Throw around her weight. Oh, baby girl, don't even play, 'cause you're a bleach blonde, bad built, butch body.
Oh, Trisha says we got one thumbs down over on Rumble. I bet it was Bert. It probably was.
Swinging for the fences, good God Almighty. A heat-seeking missile, too scared to debate. And cries like a baby when she can't get her way. Yeah, she cries like a baby when she don't get her way.
That's pretty good.
She's a bleach blonde, bad built.
It's pretty good.
The Eagles are going to make a big comeback, and they're going to win it in the last few seconds of the game, proving that the NFL is legit and that the referees don't help Kansas City.
Okay.
That's the rumor in Las Vegas, and that's why the money line and the betting and all of that stuff is doing what it's doing. Kansas.
That's not the rumor in Vegas in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Also, he's going to lie. He understands betting. He gambles all the fucking time. We understand what covering the spread means, right? Does everybody understand gambling and what covering the spread means? Let's say me and Dr. J are playing a game and we're betting against each other. And Dr. J is a 5-point favorite. You can bet on who will just win. Or you can bet on who will win plus cover the spread. So let's say I win by 1. That means I won, but I didn't make the spread because she was a 5-point favorite. No. Let's say she wins. I said it backwards. Let's say she wins by 1. That means she wins, but she didn't cover the 5-point favoritism, right? She didn't cover the spread. So if you bet on her not only winning but covering the spread, it's still invalid, right? Because she didn't even cover the favorite, right? She didn't get it all the way across. She was already a +5 favorite. So for it to be equal, or it to be even, I guess, would be she would have to win by 5, right? She made the spread. At least 5. If she wins by 6, she wins 7, 10, it doesn't matter. Bert is going to say that he has a friend because the Chiefs are favorite by 1.5. He has a friend that's bet on both teams winning, and he's going to win money either way. Maybe, right? Maybe you might win money either way, but there's no way to set this up to where you're actually coming out ahead, right? You may bet 1,000 one way or both ways, and even if your main bet doesn't come through, you still get 800 back, right? But you bet 1,000. There is no way that you can go in and bet 1,000, and no matter the outcome, you win 1,200. Because why wouldn't everybody just do that? Vegas would be bankrupt in a fucking day. There's no way I go in and bet 1,000, and if my bet comes true, I win 2,000. But if I lose, I win 1,200. Then why wouldn't everybody just fucking do it? Anyways, let's hear Bert explain betting.
The city is a 1.5 point favorite. They're favored by 1.5 points. So people who are going to be betting on people are going to be betting on the Eagles. If Kansas City wins by 1 point, the people betting on the Eagles still win because they got 1.5 points. But if you're betting on the Eagles on Kansas City and they lose by 1 point, I think they still win that bet. I don't know because I don't bet sports. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And I've got friends of mine. One friend of mine who's actually I went to Florida and built a nightclub for this guy.
Okay,
5 or 6 years ago, maybe 2017. How long ago that was? And he is a professional gambler. That's what he does.
So Bert will always tell you about all these amazing, famous, wealthy friends. But when he was getting evicted from his house, he was on here crying for people to buy him a pair of socks. So I don't think they're his friends.
He's working it out. So he's betting on both teams. And I don't know what they call that, but it's something hedging or something. And so he's got it worked out. So it doesn't matter who wins. He's going to make money.
He won't be making money.
But It's too confusing for me. I got too many knobs and buttons to turn to try to figure all that out. So I've got a clip from Joe Rogan that's not really
Joe Reagan
related to politics, but it's a very interesting subject. It's not
Ronald's oldest son.
very long, and this is about wolf packs and how
Everything he's about to say here is not true. Okay, you remember how they used to tell us like, oh, wolf packs, the alpha leads from the front because he blah blah blah, and the female alpha's in the back making sure nobody gets left behind. That's just not how wolf packs work, right? There's very little of this like inter-pack aggression in wolf packs. Like they're not like battling it out and the losers like the fucking beta or whatever. What actually tends to happen in wolf packs, I don't know why people try to, it's these weird like mentality guys that's like, I woke up at 3 a.m. and I did 1,000 fucking crunches before I prayed for 4.5 hours and signed 2 deals for $1 million before you even ate breakfast. Those guys are all about the wolf packs and the alphas and shit. What tends to happen in wolf packs are they're just families, right? So the female alpha is just the mom. The alpha is just the dad because they're the breeding pairs. And the younger ones are their offspring. There's no set marching order. There's no like the second to toughest guys in the third position. That's just not how it works.
the wolves care for each other.
Usually, especially in snowfall, you'll have a stronger wolf out front breaking snow. That's about it. A stronger wolf out front breaking snow, so it's easier for the rest, especially if they're smaller, if they're young or whatever, to get through the snow. That's about it.
They take care of each other. And I thought it was really interesting. And Rogan wouldn't put this on the show if he didn't have factual proof that that's how it works.
I'm going to show you. I don't think this is actually the clip that Joe Rogan's talking about. I think this is an AI clip. So it's Joe Rogan talking about, have you seen this video? It's crazy. It's about wolves. Then suddenly they cut to a video that I don't even think was on the Joe Rogan show. Watch this.
Big time hunter. So watch how he explains the way the wolves handle each other. You would think the leader of a wolf pack would be the strongest wolf in the group. Well, let's watch this and see if this fits in anything in your life or possibly anything in what our government's doing right now.
Right now. This is the government's a wolf pack right now. A wolf pack of one.
That video? No. Pull that video up because it's one of my favorite. A Canadian photographer captured a...
All right, now look. All Joe Rogan said was, have you seen that video? Pull that video up because it's my favorite. Now, this is from an account called Papito Fuego. Papito, I guess. Papito Fuego. So, tons of clip channels are making clips with this Joe Rogan intro that says, have you seen that video? Pull that video up because it's my favorite. And then you could put whatever you want there. Right? It could be Joe Rogan saying, have you seen that video? Pull that video up because it's my favorite. And it's just me fucking swinging my dick back and forth in front of the camera. Joe Rogan didn't endorse that video. I just edited the two together. I don't think Bert understands this because it's an AI video that he shows.
In what our government's doing right now.
That video? No. Pull that video up because it's one of my favorite. A Canadian photographer captured a wolf pack's formation.
It even cuts off Joe Rogan talking right there. I don't know if you heard that, but it cuts him off for a second talking.
Right now.
That video? No. Pull that video up because it's one of my favorite. A Canadian photographer captured a wolf pack's formation, and it's mind-blowing. Guess what? The leader isn't at the front. The three wolves leading the pack are noticeably bigger, but who'd guess they are the weakest in the group? They are the oldest or the sick ones among the wolves leading the pack. They set the pace and ensure they don't get left behind. A smart move, but they'd be the first casualties in an attack. The second tier is where the real strength lies. They are the young and strong ones, quick to react and exceptionally fierce. They would swoop in and target the attackers while the old wolves engage. Then comes the third tier. These are the women and children of the pack. Not very strong, but they are the future, so they walk where it's safest. Next up is the fourth tier, just as tough as the second tier. They act as the bodyguards. This formation is genius. Even if there's a surprise attack from behind, the women and children remain safe. It also buys time for the other tiers to react and assist. And lastly, there's this lone wolf keeping a distance from the pack. He is the leader, always watching over the pack. Have you ever seen that video? No.
How about that?
Like, that's not real. That was not on the Joe Rogan show. Someone just clipped Joe Rogan saying, have you ever seen that video? You can pull up that video. It's my favorite. And then they stuck whatever video they want to in there. And Bert's too goddamn retarded to know that Papito, Fuego underscore 919169 is not the guy who clips Joe Rogan shows for him.
Is that not cool? Women and children protected.
Isn't that cool, guys?
And the leader follows from the back, not leading from the front, to make sure everybody's doing their job and protect themselves. Isn't that kind of what Donald Trump's doing right now? Isn't he sending out his best, his strongest to do a job? And he's standing back and he's watching. I got your back. I'll protect you. Don't you worry. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a correlation there. The art of—
So Donald Trump is the alpha wolf watching all of us wolves scamper through the snow from the back. A little bit correlation there. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is.
Of the deal. If you haven't read that.
It's the art of the deal. It's the art of the wolf pack.
Book. Go buy it on Amazon. If it's not available on Amazon, see if you can get one on eBay. I have it. It's in my storage unit somewhere. A friend of mine has an autographed version of it. Yep. I'd love to have that. The hair always gives them... Oh, no, wrong one. I'm going over here with this one. We're going to get with the other one. The other day, I showed you a reporter that was sitting next to Steve Ducey. Ducey? How do you spell it? How do you say it? Steve Ducey. Yeah, Ducey.
Ducey.
Ducey. That's it. Ducey. I wasn't trying to be belligerent. I was mispronouncing it, literally. I mean, honestly. So Ducey was asking questions, and this reporter was reading his notes over his shoulder, and I kept making comments on his eyebrows. I said, look at this guy's raising his eyebrows. Oh, my goodness.
Dude, I'll tell you this much. He was watching Facebook Reels. You know what I've decided I'm never fucking watching ever again? Facebook Stories. So when you first open up Facebook, at the very top, there's like these little short videos, almost like Instagram or TikTok or something, right? It is like these videos at the fucking top of the screen, and they're called stories. They're like it's kind of like Snapchat, where they're like real short, and like if you have a bunch of them, they'll be like back to back to back. I'm never watching them again because I was trying to do some work today. I built some of you might have got an invite to it. I was helping my buddy who owns a business build a Facebook page for his business, and I was inviting friends or whatever. But anyways, I was in Messenger, and I just happened to was looking at my old messages or whatever on Facebook Messenger, and there was like 3 or 4 of them in a row where I reacted to people's stories. Now, I've never reacted to anybody's story. I didn't know it sends them a fucking message. I've never clicked anything. But I'm guessing just by opening the story and then something happens and I put the phone down or put it in my pocket or fucking butt dial or some shit, I had reacted with an emote that is like it's like a me, like a Bitmoji, with these giant fucking hard eyes. Like my eyes were hearts like bursting out of my fucking face, and sent it to several fucking people that I don't fucking know like that. So I had to fucking apologize and like, hey, I don't know what I fucking put goddamn hard eyes on, but I've never done that before in my life. My bad. And now it looks like I'm just some kind of goddamn creep because this shit happened like last fucking week. Like last fucking week. And they didn't respond. I didn't respond. And I'm like, no, I didn't really do that. Like I wasn't really making these. One was like, it was a picture of my kid. And I know you got kids, so I just let it go. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? What was I reacting? I don't even know. Now I feel like such a fucking creep, dude. Like, I feel like such a creep. They're like hearts bursting out of my eyeballs. Like, what the fuck? I don't know.
You know, same guy. He's asking President Trump a question. And I mentioned this already.
Shut up, Itsuko!
Atsuko just resubscribed for 33 months. Asian female sending heart eyes.
I hate you. I really think I hate you, Asian female sending hard eyes.
I already said this, but now Trump's going to.
I responded. I was like, look, I didn't know. First of all, I've never reacted to a story ever. I'm usually just clicking through them as fast as I can because most of them suck. And I'm bored. And I've never reacted to one before, but it doesn't Like on TikTok, when you heart something, it just like puts a heart there. On Facebook, when you do any type of reaction, it sends them a private message. So my luck, it's somebody being fucking slutty, and then I'm like, fucking hearts are coming out my eyeballs. Somebody's fucking kid. I don't know. It was bad. So I had to apologize to people.
Confirm what I told you.
Elon Musk, he cannot touch.
Well, we haven't discussed that much.
All right, Bert can't figure out how reels work, so here we go. Here's the explanation.
The question he asked was, is there anything Elon Musk cannot touch? Unfortunately, these reels, they start before I can get them over there to you. It was really frustrating.
Facebook reels start before Bert can show them on screen.
And then you can't rewind them. So anyway, the question was, is there any...
No rewind. Don't react to it, Bert.
Elon Musk cannot touch.
I'll tell him to go here, go there. He does it. He's got a very capable group of people. Very, very capable. They know what.
Oh, yeah. I told him, I was like, I had no idea. I've never reacted to a story in my life. I just now saw this when I was scrolling through my messages. I felt like a fucking creep. Sorry. That was it. That was the end of conversation.
They'll ask questions, and they'll see immediately as somebody gets tongue-tied that they're either crooked or don't know what they're doing. We have very smart people going in. So
this is not, just because someone gets tongue-tied does not mean that they're doing something nefarious, right? They're running in and asking them about shit that they might not even have a handle on. Like, where'd this money go on February 1st of 2022 when it was supposed to go to... Are they going to know that right offhand?
I've instructed him go into education, go into military, go into other things as we go along. And they're finding massive amounts of fraud, abuse.
Nothing. Trump basically vouched for Elon. Nothing's off limits.
Waste, all of these things. So, but I will pick out...
And they're just lying about what they're finding, right? They're just lying about what they're finding. Well, $50 million to fucking Gaza for condoms doesn't exist.
And I say go in. There could be areas that we won't, but I think everything's fertile. You know, we're a government. We have to be open. And as an open government, I don't know, I guess you could say maybe some high intelligence.
This shit is open. It's passed in laws. It's allocated by Congress. No one's hiding this shit. It's all been allocated, and Congress has already approved it.
Or something. And I'll do that myself if I have to. But generally speaking, I'll just say no. But he will be looking at education pretty quickly, and he will be looking at military too.
Bulk of federal spending is Social Security, Medicare, programs like that. Would you like to see him look at those programs as well?
Well, they don't really have to be looked at by him. They could be looked at by us.
I think that Trump. So I told you about that we read that article that came up that was like, fucking vets are goddamn lazy and we need to stop paying disability. I saw another one pop up, and these are like outlying articles. But still, that tells you that temperature is changing around a topic, right? Even though there's only 2 or 3 of these articles, instead of hundreds of articles by every outlet, that tells you that temperature is changing around a topic. I saw another one the other day that was like, we're basically paying our veterans to never get better because if we had them on a system to where when they don't want to get better because their disability will stop coming. They're basically turning into welfare queens. I bet you Trump could convince people to go after veterans' disability, right? Combat veterans getting disability checks. I bet you he could, and he might.
Social Security will not be touched. It will only be strengthened. We have illegal immigrants on Social Security, and we're going to find out who.
You can't say Social Security will not be touched and then say, well, I think there's illegal immigrants there. We're going to kick them out.
They are and take them out. We have illegal immigrants in other Medicare. We found a lot of bad people, a lot of people that shouldn't be on, that were put on through California. A lot of them come out of California. We're not going to stand for that. So we're going to strengthen our Social Security, et cetera. We're not going to touch it other than to make it stronger. But we have people that shouldn't be on, and those people we have to weed out. Most of them, or many of them so far, have been illegal immigrants. They shouldn't even be in the country.
Is there anything you've told Elon Musk?
There you go.
Dude, illegal immigrants pay a shit ton into taxes and can't benefit from that.
So remember when I said, Trump said, if they won't let him go in, I'll go in? Yeah. This guy's serious about it, y'all.
I guess Elon Musk now thinks that fat people don't belong. I don't know. So you tell me what this means. So fat person at Twitter, hot young person, skinny person at X, fat person at the federal government, and now he's got a briefcase that says Doge, and the skinny young person is like hands on hip, like what's going. Elon Musk posted this himself on his account. I don't know.
It's going down. It's going to be, there's going to be a new story every day. They used to say that the cycle of a story was 7 days. That something can happen on Monday and you're still going to be talking about it next Monday in the news. No, now it's 7 hours. He'll do something in the morning.
By the way, an oversight committee tried to have Elon come in and testify about what are you doing, what are you going through, what are you doing with this information. Do you have clearance to have this information? Like, okay, imagine how wild it would be if somebody that worked for the FCC, right? They have compliance in like broadcasting and TV and shit like that. Somebody from the FCC pulled up your fucking tax return and started scrutinizing it because you're their neighbor and they saw in the mail that you got a refund check. That wouldn't be valid, right? That wouldn't be good. Just because you work in the government, even as a special employee, doesn't mean you get access to fucking everything. The same way that we don't release shit without redacting stuff, right? They could still expose whatever corruption they want to and redact like personal identifying information, bank account numbers. But no, they're just going all for it. All for it. And Pete Hegseth. Hold on. Pete Hegseth, right? Their golden boy, the Secretary of Defense. Hegseth wants $50,000 for emergency paint job to move into military family housing. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is looking to live in military family housing and requesting $137,000 in taxpayer funding for repairs, including nearly $50,000 for an emergency paint job. A pair of top Democratic lawmakers in a letter Friday demanding more details. While it is not unprecedented for a defense secretary to live in military housing, it is far more common for them to fund private housing, and the reported price tag to fix up Hegseth's military house comes as rank-and-file service members continue to struggle with crumbling, unsafe living conditions. I've lived in barracks. They fucking suck. And as the Trump administration has been looking to slash government spending elsewhere. We know that many service members and their families currently live in unacceptable housing conditions, including houses with mold, lead paint, and other hazards. What commitment will you make to provide service members with a similarly high quality of housing for themselves and their families? DeLuro is a ranking member of the House Appropriations Committee, and Wasserman Schultz is a ranking member of the panel's subcommittee in charge of military construction and funding. Under the law, Congress must be notified if maintenance and repairs for housing meant for general and flag officers is going to cost more than $35,000. In that context, lawmakers were notified late last month that the Army was looking to spend $137,297 on maintenance on an unoccupied family housing unit, according to Wasserman Schultz and DeLuro's letter. The total cost included $49,900 for an emergency interior paint job. What the fuck is an emergency paint job? Now, it was a week later that they were told that it was for Hegseth. Pentagon didn't respond. The apparent urgency to fix up Hegseth's house comes as service members have struggled for years with subpar housing and inability to get timely repairs. A series of 2018 Reuters articles exposed systemic issues with privatized military housing for families such as mold, rodent infestation, and shoddy repairs, and military families have continued to report similar issues in the years since. Young enlisted troops in the barracks, too, have faced unsafe conditions. The 2023 Government Accountability Office report found rampant problems with overflowing sewage, mold, bed bug infestations, and squatters living in barracks. At least one defense secretary has lived in military housing before. Bob Gates lived in a home on a Navy compound in Washington, D.C., where he was defense secretary, Stars and Stripes reported in 2008. Gates was the first defense secretary to live in military housing, according to the news outlets. Most defense secretaries find their own homes. For example, Hegseth's immediate predecessor, Lloyd Austin, lived in a nearly $3 million, 8,700 square foot house in Great Falls, Virginia, according to Task and Purpose. When Gates lived in military housing, he paid more than $6,500 in monthly rent at the time. He ought to be paying fucking rent, dude. He ought to be paying fucking rent. At the time, defense officials expressed concern that he was required to pay more than 3 times as much as an officer would to live in the same house, because officers only had to pay the amount of their basic allowance for housing, according to Stars and Stripes. Let's cut that wasteful spending unless it's our people.
And by the afternoon, they'll be on to something else he's done that they can't deal with. It's just making them all feel like it's over for them, because it is. It's over. These people that have made themselves rich off the backs of the taxpayers are going to be called out, and the light's going to be shining.
By the way, the first Trump administration, they had a guy that I can't remember what his name was. Pruitt? They had a guy that was head of Environmental Protection Agency that ended up having to resign for a bunch of like scandalous shit, including that he got like this DC condo. He was renting a DC condo from an energy lobbyist, right? The guys that he's supposed to be keeping in check, for like 1/10 of what the property regularly rented for. Or some crazy shit like that. He ended up having to resign over all these allegations and shit. But this time, they're just like out in the open. What the fuck? What are you going to do to us?
On them, and they're going to have to go. Donald Trump has already offered to the White House staff that you have until Monday, and if you want, you can resign, and I'll give you 6 months back, or 6 months pay in advance, and a good resume, or a good review for your resume, and you can leave. Because this is the way we're going to do it. This is how we do it. And this is the way it's going to be.
Shut up,
like
Bert.
Way.
God damn
It's
it.
time for you to go. Yeah, that's what he told him. I think in another life, Trump must have been a Marine. Remember the old, or maybe it was the Army. Yeah, maybe it was the Army that said, we do more by 8 a.m. than you do all day. Well, I get up, it's 8 a.m. and I look at the TV and I'm going to have to start getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning just to keep up with this guy. Otherwise, I got to get the story secondhand, third hand, because it's already moved on to the next big story. It's just amazing to watch something happen the way we all hoped it would. We all went out there. We're responsible. The Republicans that went out and promoted Trump, that worked for him.
I don't remember everything. I know that the Energy Lobby House, I remember that. And he had other scandalous shit around him, but I can't remember what all they were.
Like we all did. The people are watching this right now. This is our doing. Watch and enjoy the fruit of your labors, because I think it's awesome. This headline says it all. The hair always gives it away. The
hair
is complaining or addressing these people to talk about her transsexual child and her pan child. And the response to this is absolutely brilliant. So I'll let you just check it out.
I am a volunteer with Equality Kansas, but I'm here today on behalf of my family. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a Kansan, and 2 of my children are receiving gender-affirming care.
Gender-affirming care.
We'll do a little bit of arithmetic. So
he's going to equate 2 different stories here, okay? So that woman, she's with Equality Kansas. She just said that. She works with Equality Kansas and says that 2 of her children receive gender-affirming care. Now, Jordan Peterson is talking about a Disney executive that says that she had a trans and a pan child. These are 2 different stories. These also don't go together. I don't think Bert understands how editing works.
I'm a Kansan, and 2 of my children are receiving gender-affirming care.
Gender-affirming care.
We'll do a little bit of arithmetic. So a while back, Disney executive mentioned on video, she said, I have 2 children, 5 and 7. One is trans and the other is pansexual. And I just thought mathematically right away, it's like the chance you have a trans kid is 1 in 3,000. That's not a very high chance. And let's say the chance that you have a pansexual kid is the same, whatever pansexual means. But whatever that is rarer than trans, because no one ever even heard about it until 5 years ago. So the joint probability that you have a trans kid and a pansexual kid is 1 in 9 million. The odds that you're a pathological narcissist sacrificing your own children to the glorification of your compassion is 8,999,999 to 1. So, like, do you have a trans kid and a pansexual kid, or are you a devouring mother? Well, you can look at the odds and decide for yourself. The resident of 400 Eagle Trail came out of the house and yelled at the couple to come back and pick up their trash.
Sorry, there's a difference.
I don't think any of that's true. Oh, $20 from Trisha. Thank you very much. Yeah, and he works all day to research your stories for his audio. Oh, yeah. He watches the news so we don't have to. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. There's the hard eyes. That's what my Bitmoji guy was doing. I even unsent it. I was so embarrassed about it. I unsent the message and then apologized.
Story that jumped in there. Isn't he right? I mean, if you've got... it's these people are normalizing their children to what they want their kids to be because they are a part of that LGBTQ community, which is, in my opinion, and not every gay person is this way, because I know gay people. But there's a large...
Bert knows gay people.
...portion of a very small group called the LGBTQ community that has mental illness. They're in that community, and they're taking it... Listen, I don't want to be criticizing everybody, but you cannot tell me that if you're a gay person, your two children are just naturally born gay if they come up and be gay too. No, you influence that behavior. Just like whenever kids are influenced by their family to become racist. If you're...
You heard it here first. Gay people are racist.
You're running around using the N-word all the time because your family does it, then it's not natural behavior. It's something that was learned at home.
Look, I only have 3 friends in these apartment complex, and they're all gay. They try to get me down there and puff on this and pass that, and I don't know what's going on.
Same thing with this sexuality thing. It's a learned...
Tell them, Bert.
If you spend all your time normalizing it and telling the kids it's natural to be that way, their minds have not developed well enough for them to make that decision on their own. And the fact that you try to convince them of that before they're old enough to have those feelings makes you a predator, and you should be punished for it. Yesterday, we covered the California situation with Gavin Newsom, and I told you guys,
okay,
they decided they're not going to let those people move back into those homes.
Oh, no.
Today, Alex Jones covered it. Alex Jones covered it. So now we get to watch and see what your old boy Bert told you and see how it compares to what Mr. Jones is talking about.
Uh-oh.
Is the most common form of government in the 7,000-year recorded history of mankind. It was almost always the system. The lords have all the land, the property, the power. They keep the peasants on very small little pieces. The serfs, the kulaks. And that's done so nobody can ever organize and have their own economy. And that's what globalism and BlackRock and the Great Reset is neo-feudalism. In their own words, the UN says we're going to return to feudalism. You watch a movie or read the books, Hunger Games, and you go, wow, this is crazy, where you have high-tech little cities with the elites, and everybody else came and had electricity or running water, and then there's these big floating UN command ships coming in. That's actually real UN proposals.
Okay.
15-minute cities that have power and electricity and are nuclear-powered. They get all the energy they want for AI. You get nothing. No medicine, but poison shots.
So what's actually going on in California? There's still places that have evacuation orders because there's like half-standing structures and shit. So if your evacuation order gets downgraded to a warning, you'll be allowed to return. If it's above a warning, they don't want people in that area getting fucking trapped or a building falling on them or whatever, right?
That's the plan to end civilization and consolidate the money and power while they do it. And of course, you have somebody that looks crazier and more evil and acts that way and behaves.
Newsom went in and did a few different things to cut a bunch of red tape about rebuilding and demolition and stuff, as long as it's safe to do so.
That way,
There's firefighters are still checking for fucking hot spots, electricity, gas leaks, fucking all kinds of shit, right? Yeah, there could be all the water quality. I guess there could be all kinds of issues with it.
American Psycho, Christian Bale. I mean, he is scary. A high-functioning psychotic.
Not Christian Bale.
And then you look at Newsom and you go, my God, that guy is scary as hell looking. Your skin crawls.
He is freaky looking. Look at him.
Because, folks, he's what that character is based on. That's an archetype. That is a dangerous man. That is a predator. I mean, this guy is an enemy of humanity.
What was that last picture? Wasn't even him.
That's an archetype. That is a dangerous man. That is a...
What the fuck is this?
Predator. I mean, this guy is an enemy of humanity. This guy's a monster, and Trump must go after him.
That's what I said yesterday.
You previously mentioned the timeline for rebuilding would be 6 to 9 months. Is that going to happen? And should people rebuild in some parts of California, given how...
Folks, is this not the clip I showed you yesterday? I'm asking my audience. I don't think the chat's working. I see that we're growing.
No one's chatting.
Getting any chat.
Loser.
So normally I would ask you for a thumbs up if you remember that I showed you this clip yesterday and said these very same things. Not as well as Mr. Jones just did, but that's exactly the argument that I'm making. And The chat's not working. Rumble, I'm telling you right now, thank you for the freedom of speech that you give. Get yourself some IT people and figure this stuff out.
The chat works for everybody else. My chat works over on Rumble. Maybe it's all your viewers are clogging up the system.
I'm going to be switching to a different platform and just posting it live on Rumble after it's over. You guys you got to get it together. You got to get it together. And you don't even respond when we ask you for technical support. And I've went on different platforms and asked, are you getting any tech support? No, everybody's frustrated with it. Here's a thumbs up from Cran. Thank you. This is the video clip I showed you yesterday, and now today Alex Jones is showing it. And I'm not trying to say I'm faster than Alex about this. I'm saying we're on a page. We're on the same page, brother. I told you a day before he did that Tucker Carlson was going to get fired. I'm the one that said something was up with the beams of light coming out of the sky in Hawaii. I'm the one that told you. I told you.
What? What'd you just say?
I'm the one that said something was up with the beams of light coming out of the sky in Hawaii.
Bert thinks that the fires in Hawaii were started by space lasers.
I'm the ones that told you. I told you before he did that they're stealing that land because those people don't want to sell it. It's their homestead. They've been there for generations and generations. They won't sell. But it's not because I'm trying to say I'm faster or better. I'm trying to say I'm a karate student and he's my sensei, and I just threw the best roundhouse I ever thrown that he taught me to do.
Wax on, wax off, Bert.
Let's get back to it.
The fire risk.
You can't rebuild the same. So we have to rebuild with science. We have to build with climate reality in mind.
They're cancer. Cancer just takes over, thinks it's the ball.
Obviously, they don't want them to rebuild the same. Experts are going to tell them, hey, we need spaces. We need fire breaks. We need...
Doesn't stop till it kills the host. Give cancer out of consciousness, as I've said many times. It would think it was winning. No, it's not winning. It's cancer. It's a malfunction. But once it starts moving, it starts replicating and takes over. Gavin Newsom is human cancer.
The government ears Alex Jones, who has the largest audience.
Yep. There you go. I just thought it was interesting when I saw it this morning that
he watches the news, so we don't have to.
I did on my show last night. I love it. I love it. And I've still only got 70 people watching the show.
Rumble, get your shit together. Chat's not working.
So
now he's mad. He doesn't have as many viewers as Alex Jones.
Before I get to this one, let me just go ahead and let me go ahead and invite you folks to come over to bertlynch.com.
Oh, my God.
This is very important, folks. And I've been asking now for days for folks to help me keep this alive, and I cannot do it without my audience. I'm asking you very humbly to please make a donation tonight. You can Zelle the donation. You can go on Rumble. The reason I'm asking you on the weekends, especially to Zelle, is I don't see it for a few days. But if you Zelle it, I get it tonight, and then that way I can apply it to all the things that are needed. There are bills due that keep this apartment operating so that I can run the studio out of it. This studio takes up 75% of the space in this room. There's a small bed on the other side of those monitors, and a TV that I can watch. There's a very small kitchen with only one burner, and a bathroom. This place was rented for this production. I'm asking you humbly to help me keep it going. At some point, I hope that we earn enough that I can move out of here into a bigger facility that will allow me to have my music equipment and be able to perform for you musically like I used to.
This isn't good enough. Not only does he want you to pay the rent here, he wants you to donate enough to where he can move to a bigger venue, a bigger house. This isn't good enough.
In the original bertlynch.com studio. That is my goal. That's my ambitious goal, but it is my goal, and I need my audience in order for me to pull it off. So humbly, would you please tonight send a donation? Reach out to me on Messenger if you want to, because I would love to get some people involved on a much higher level. If you have the funds and you want to get involved, this will become a lucrative studio once we have the right facility.
Investors. He needs investors again, guys.
Not only will do the Bert Lynch show from there.
You know how good that turned out for the first round of investors, right?
But we will produce other podcasts from that studio, and we will also be recording demos for people and making videos for people. It's going to be a working professional studio like we had in the original bertlynch.com facility. So I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it stronger. We're going to make the $6 million studio. But I need your help. I need your help. There's 70 of you watching right now. Just reach out to me today and donate $5. Donate $10. Donate $100. Whatever you can do. Whatever you can do tonight. Please go to bertlynch.com. You slide down to the donate button. And just past the donate button, you can enter into the bertlynch.com online store. Buy one of my t-shirts. Buy a photograph, a coffee cup. The pictures all get signed by me. It's not auto-signed. I sign it myself. Dana brings them over to me. You need to sign these. They're going out in the mail later today. I sign them all. The Shadow merchandise is now available. The Shadow coffee mug, the Shadow t-shirt. And there's much, much more that you can view on the website. So just go there and browse around and see if there's something in there that you like, because you're supporting the podcast when you do that. And I do need your help. I honestly do. And Gavin Newsom reminds me of Antichrist in Left Behind series. Jesus Christ loves you. That's a very good point. I agree with you. I humbly ask you folks to help me out today. And I hope that you can do something this evening. I'll be watching my email to see if anybody stepped up to help out. The clip that I wanted to tell you just got deleted by accident, so I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, you guys are watching me look for it. I just accidentally deleted it. That's what happened.
Oh, no.
So, it's right here. So we're going to go back into Alex Jones and check out what he has to say about that subject.
Tens of billions going into black holes in bank accounts that don't even have contracts. And I've got the clips in the news and then the documents on that. $6 billion went to Biden into his companies.
I told
and
you
they don't know where it went. Now listen to me. Yeah, this is sensational. That's with 1% scanned. Now you know why they're so scared. That 1% of fraud touches the NGOs, the bureaucrats, almost all the Democrat leadership, some of the Republican leadership.
The payments, billions of dollars stolen at USAID for payments to fake news. These were government agencies that paid for subscriptions for their top tier employees. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't fake news. It was given for subscriptions.
And the corporate media is trying to spin it. Oh, Trump's big claim. Billions of dollars stolen at USAID for payments to fake news media. Look, a lot of that stuff was already public for years, but it's in the documents. $300 million to Reuters to attack Elon Musk. Billions to the corporate media to attack Trump and run the fake impeachment propaganda. Hundreds of millions to Politico, New York Times. It's all public. But see, how do you spin that? Oh, Trump claims, big claim. Oh, big claim. It's all right there.
He's describing what is...
I don't think there is a delay on the chat. My screen plugin is a direct feed from the Twitch API. But it shouldn't be showing up any faster than... It's from multiple sources, right? It's from YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and Twitch, but, I don't know.
Currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every...
Now, folks, if you remember, who played this clip for you yesterday?
Bert.
80-20 issue in America. USA,
he's always there ahead.
Pared down. They want to streamline. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who sort of reflects.
Our InfoWars producers watching BurtLynch.com shows. This is the stuff I covered yesterday. I love this. I love it. I can't believe it. All right, go back, get her done.
Against him, gets on the 20, and now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why I don't.
Obviously, the Doge.
All right, so we're gonna get back in. I thought that was gonna be a longer promo. I haven't watched this, by the way. I just jumped in live.
Lying. They try to block Musk. He checkmates them instantly. They've already thought 50 moves ahead. This is just awesome. And then they're wringing their hands. Oh my God, he's gonna steal your Social Security data. He's giving it to everybody. Hackers are gonna get it. The Chinese are gonna get it. Under the Democrats.
I played you a clip just a minute ago where Donald Trump said, "I'm not touching Social Security."
The entire Social Security database has been stolen. The entire database of federal employees has been stolen. Always on the Democrats' watch because they're opening the door up. Over and over again, the Federal Reserve just got hacked last month, right before Trump got in. But that's just little bloop, bloop, bloop in the news. But everywhere is, oh my God, Elon Musk is going to get everybody's data stolen. He's stealing it. There's some guy named Big Balls in there.
I covered that yesterday.
There's another guy named Sexy Tesla. And they're literally on the news. These are dirty names. What the hell? So...
By the way, they brought back that one super racist dude, and it's crazy they used J.D. Vance as a scapegoat. So they had J.D. Vance tweet out that the guy just made a mistake saying shit like bring racism back here and wiping Israel off the map and shit like that. He just made a mistake. So J.D. Vance tweets it out. They fired a guy from the Doge because he made all these fucking racist remarks. Then in a press conference, they asked Trump, they're like, well, J.D. Vance said we should bring this guy back for his racist, after he made racist remarks. And Trump's like, I don't know anything about it, but if J.D. said it, then we could, let's let J.D. do it. What the fuck?
That's crazy. Roger Bear, who could be literally extradited today, the order went out a few days ago. He thinks they're coming in the next few hours, so we hope before he gets changed.
I think that's the guy that's called Bitcoin Jesus.
Obama Biden era indictment that just happened recently. Bitcoin Jesus, founder of Bitcoin.com. Totally innocent, absolutely nothing wrong. Followed all the tax laws, but he was a big backer of Trump and Patriots. So he's joining us from Spain. They can literally raid him. Says that we'll come arrest him. He's on house arrest any minute.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and break away from that. And I want to make sure that I've still got...
He was indicted for tax fraud.
Yes. Got one more thing I thought I was going to cover. I may not. So Elon Musk says, I want to get this where I can read it for you. Elon Musk reported this update. Elon Musk says FEMA's potentially illegal payments will now be paused for review. Biden's FEMA gave over $1 billion to NGOs who were focused on facilitating illegal immigration. This is in addition to the use of FEMA money meant for Americans suffering from disasters to fund luxury hotels for illegals. Now, remember, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and the left was screaming that the money for the disaster relief wasn't coming from the same place, and now they're saying it is. It absolutely is. Those illegals were using up that FEMA money, and that's why they weren't getting any help in North Carolina. Notably, FEMA funded money to the Red Cross, which...
If FEMA gives it to NGOs, and then NGOs spend it in some other way, isn't the NGO at fault?
Was used to assist illegals in getting to the U.S.-Mexico border, literally providing them maps to get to entry points. And that's just scratching the surface. Many corrupt officials are sweating right now. That's what Elon Musk just posted today. And we are going to see more and more just like that. Now, I've got something here that I have not vetted this. I've not vetted this. I'm going to play it. And I apologize if there's language I won't know until we both listen to it. But once again, this is the grown-up table.
Not language.
This is a brother. And who knows what he's going to say. But I know what the subject matter is, so let's listen to it together. Here we go.
Imagine saying the richest man in the world needs your credit card information with your bad credit having ass. You got terrible credit.
True.
Fucking need your information for.
I'm sorry.
Fucking need your mama all $1,200 a month Social Security for. He's the richest man in the fucking world. This is the reason why Elon.
Because if they cancel enough things, they'll fund their own tax break. Are you fucking retarded?
Just took $5 million out of his own money to run 3 ads in the Super Bowl to tell you.
Right, I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone because he's getting too dirty. But yes, he did. Well, everyone's saying that he's running ads. He just said 3. I heard it was 5. But it's a great point. What does Elon Musk need with your Social Security number? First of all, if you want it, you can get it from GoDaddy.com. They got my Social Security number. How many people do you give your Social Security number to just to get a discount somewhere? Your banking information.
You give You give people your Social Security number for a discount? What the fuck are you signing up for, Bert? Who gives out discounts for your Social Security number? That's a phishing exercise.
Just to get a discount somewhere. Your banking information. The average person makes $60,000 a year. This guy's worth $400 billion. You're not messing with your Social Security. If anything else, he might look into it and see that you need some money and send you a couple dollars. But that's what happens when you go cold with that. I don't like to go that much vulgarity with my show. I don't want to be offensive to people, but I was afraid something like that might happen. But sometimes you just take a chance. You jump out there and say, let's take a look at this. That's why it takes me hours all day long, you guys. That's why it takes me hours all day to get all this out so that I don't end up slipping something like that into the show. I hadn't planned on doing a show tonight, but after sitting and watching a couple of things on the news and that sort of thing, and the fact that I just need to be on here all the time so that we can start developing a bigger audience. I felt like I owe it to you guys. I owe it to myself to jump on here. And so that's why I'm here. So there aren't many of you in the chat room, but if you have any questions, please jump in and let me hear from you, and I'll answer.
How many questions do you think he gets? How many questions do you think he gets from his chat, his live viewers?
I can. This is Roger Stone saying a careful examination of New York Attorney General Letitia James' financial disclosures shows she inflated the value of her assets in order to get mortgages on various commercial properties. And then it goes on.
None. He's already read all the messages that are going to be in his chat.
And I was getting ready. I'm going to editorialize here. That's what she accused Trump of.
Probably 40 minutes ago.
And it says exactly what she falsely accused President Trump of doing. There you go. Trump got loans on properties based on the whatever amount he said his value was worth. That's what he put up for collateral. Then he paid the loans back early with interest, and the bank loved him. We'll loan Donald Trump money anytime he wants it. He pays it back. And she prosecuted him for it. This is what is referred to in a courtroom as a Scribner's error. But it isn't even really a Scribner's error because the person that was his bookkeeper using electronic bookkeeping software.
A Scribner's error is just a typo, right? Mistake in a written document instead of a typo on a keyboard. It's a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. He lied about the valuation of his businesses intentionally.
When you make a line entry, a drop-down box comes down and gives you a list of what you can list that entry as. And the only thing that was there was legal fees. Well, it's money he paid to a lawyer who then paid it to a person who was trying to file a lawsuit. And this is what rich people do. This is what corporations do. They settle out of court. So an out-of-court settlement would be listed as a lawyer's fee because the drop-down menu didn't have an option of out-of-court settlement.
Wrong. He's got to report that. That's what campaign finance laws are. It's different if you're trying to hide it from your wife and you said, oh, I had to pay the lawyer $30,000 or $100,000 or whatever. When you're running a campaign, you can't list it like that. Sorry. Don't fuck porn stars before you run a campaign.
And no one would list it that way anyhow. They would list it as a legal fee. And they charged him with 34 counts. And now the left, that's what they live by. They live, oh, he's a felon. He's a convicted felon. You know, he could have pardoned himself. He could pardon himself tomorrow. It doesn't have to, because it just makes him tougher to us. We don't care. George Soros received $26 million from USAID. He didn't spend his own money to destroy American justice. He used ours. So, and again,
you're just reading headlines now.
Spends his millions on Super Bowl ads out of his own pocket, exposing government waste uncovered by Doge. I'm interested to see if that's really going to happen, but it's everywhere.
So this isn't true. He had an institute that partnered with his Open Society Foundation that received grants.
Some of this stuff I'm not going to waste your time with, but it's
he's literally just scrolling through reading headlines.
It's going to be an interesting time, folks. We've got so much going on that I literally have to post stuff on the fly just to keep up with everything that's going on.
The only headline about this is that George Soros had an NGO, basically, right? All this money went to NGOs. One of them, George Soros partnered with.
So used to having our president call it quits at 11 o'clock in the morning. I have literally, in the last 4 years, I've woken myself up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, turn on the news, and they say, the president, it's Thursday, and the president is on his way to the beach because he's called a lid and won't be back until Monday. And in other news, how about them Kansas City Chiefs? So that's how it is, y'all. Thank y'all for being here tonight. It's been fun hanging out with you. I wish.
Did you keep track of how many questions he got asked?
I thought I heard somebody knock on my door. Maybe not. I wish that we had a little bit more attendance tonight, but I came on very late, and I only gave you guys about a 10-minute lead in to the fact that I was going live. And I understand that it's Saturday night, and a lot of people are just not doing anything tonight. So they don't want to watch podcasts. They might want to go out, go to a movie or something. I'm not sure if there's a movie worth watching these days, but I guess there could be one. But I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, and I really appreciate you guys coming in. I will
fade to black.
So no Shadow tonight.
No questions. No chat.
Make sure that he's up and around on Monday. Jesus Christ loves you. Thank you for being here tonight. Jesus Christ loves you. Cram 45. Thank you so much.
He's going through old comments. So he's literally going backwards through comments he's already read.
Don't give you money, I can give you the sky.
There were 3 people in his live stream, and one person came while he was shutting it down. So there was something, Twana, I guess, that said no sound. Cran 45 said thumbs up, yes. 100% thumbs up. Twana says yes, yes. So there's 2 people so far. Jesus Christ loves you says, good evening, much better now, can hear you. And then they say Gavin Newsom reminds me of the Antichrist. There was three people in his fucking chat. And then someone at the very end named Crazy Goose 49 says, "Oops, just got here. It's over." He had 3 people chatting, but expects us to believe he has hundreds of viewers.
Tawana was in the house tonight. Thank you for your comments.
There you go, Tawana. That's it. Cran, Jesus Christ loves you, and Tawana.
There may have been other comments, but I wasn't able to see them. God bless everybody. Good night.
I think that Trump is going to try to pass the tax breaks expire this year. I think he's going to try to put in more massive tax breaks for the ultra wealthy. Anybody that probably makes under $350,000 is probably going to go up. And he's not going to pitch it like that, but I think he's going to say that he funded those. He's going to fund those tax breaks. Look how much corruption we've exposed.
At night, and if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. Don't know how you met me, you don't know why. You can't.
So basically, Trump got busted with his properties by reporting a certain number to tax for his taxes, and then would tell lenders that it was sometimes double and triple the worth.
Turn around and say goodbye.
And that is live with Burt. I wasn't even going to do a Burt thing, but I had it playing in the background when I started the show. So there you go. Even his own lawyer says it was my experience that Trump inflated hotel assets when it served his purposes, such as lying to be listed among the wealthiest people in Forbes magazine, and deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes. There you go. I don't know. Bert's fucking wild. I hope he comments again. He's probably gave me that downvote right quick before he had to get out of here. Anyways, that's it for tonight, guys. I've been kind of down in the dumps, but maybe we'll get out of that, come back, do the show. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being here. If you want to support the show, you know how. coldbeer.fund. I think that's it for me tonight, though. You guys have a good night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I'll probably come on tomorrow, but it'll be later. I don't know. I might say fuck it and watch the Super Bowl. We'll see. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. You have a good night. We'll see you on the next one. Don't do anything that Bert would do, because it's probably illegal in most states, especially if you're doing it with a cat. Have a good night.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls.
My fucking eye's been twitching for like a week. Ever since I had that doctor's appointment, my eye's been twitching.
Who they are and telling the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well listen bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip, worshiping Trump's cock and begging for a throat deposit, swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off,
That's right, Dr. J.
Get the place.
Have a good night, guys.
You know that stage.